Okay, so here we have problem 39 out of 9.2, roughly. We already flipped the second half over. Okay. All right, now what? Now I want to reduce to lowest terms, assuming the domain blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how do I reduce to lowest terms? What do I need to look for?
Yeah, factor first.
Okay, we should look for some stuff to factor. All right, what can I obviously factor?
B squared minus 5ab.
Okay, b squared minus 5ab, I can take a
B out of it.
good. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to leave the 5a minus b up here alone. I'm going to put parentheses around it, though, so I don't lose it, right? Then on the bottom here, I've got this stuff. I'm also going to leave that alone for the moment. Let's see. Okay, so now let's start with obvious stuff. There's a 6ab, right? Okay, then we can factor a b out of this second bit down there. What are we left with once we get a b out of there?
B minus 5a.
B minus 5a. Oh, cool. That looks, wait,
No, negative b.
that looks almost familiar, right? Okay, we'll deal with that in a second. All right, what else can I factor out of the top of this thing?
You can take, let's see, you can take a 3 out of the 3a minus 12b.
Okay, so I can take a 3 out of the left thing. What am I left with?
A minus 4b.
Good. And I can take a what out of the other one?
Take a 4 out of that one.
Okay, I can take a 4 out of that one. What am I left with
A
there?
minus b minus b.
Okay, cool. All right. Okay, now what's my next target?
Not much.
Yeah, probably this thing.
Yeah.
I see that this guy and this guy almost cancel, right? I need a negative sign out of one or the other of them for those to cancel. Let's see, and otherwise I'm pretty much not canceling anything, right? So I'm hoping that this thing here is going to give me some stuff to cancel, right? Okay, so let's see. We've got 5a minus b times 3 times 4 times a minus 4b times a minus b. And then all that stuff's going to be over, all right, something. And then there's a 6ab, oops, 6ab squared. And then a b minus 5a. Okay. So how about that thing?
A minus 4 and a minus 1.
Well, that would be really convenient.
Oh, b. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. So let me start with a's and b's, right? I'm just trying to factor at this point. I'm not really sure it's going to work, right? So the coefficients on the a's have to be 1, right? Okay, the coefficients on the b's.
Multiply two numbers to get there.
I gotta multiply two numbers to get to 4, right? They could be 1 and 4, or 4 and 1, or 2 and 2, right?
4 probably.
That's
one way I can see it.
Or negative 1.
Because
Yeah, 'cause-
negative 1, negative 4 makes 4.
Okay, so sort this out in your head however you do that. The way I do it is I look and say, okay, let's see, I'm going to get to 5, right? That means it's not going to be 2 and 2. It's going to have to be 4 and 1. So I'm going to put those in here somehow. It doesn't actually matter how. And you don't really have to write this one, right? Okay, so now I just need to check the cross terms and see if I can get this thing. No, sometimes this process doesn't work, right? So I get a 4b squared. Oh, that's got to be positive, so the signs here have to match, right? And then I get an ab out of this and a 4ab out of that. I'm supposed to get negative 5ab, so if I'm subtracting both of those, I'll get the right thing. Okay, see that? There is an option here for this not to work. Right? Don't get attached to the idea you can always factor. Sometimes it just won't be this clean. Right? Really, that's me assuming that the coefficients on A are 1. They don't have to be 1. They could be a half and 2. But factoring that would be a nightmare. Right? So do this. All right. So I got this. Now, where are my onesies?
A minus 4b.
Okay, so there's an A minus 4b and A minus 4b. There's an A minus b and an A minus b.
You can times the b minus 5a by negative 1 and cancel both of those things out.
Okay, so now I've got to sort out the factor of negative 1 out, right? So this is, all told, let's see, I've got 12, right? That's the 3 times the 4.
Yeah.
And then there's, I don't know, let me take a negative 1 out of the top, right?
Mm-hmm.
What does that leave me with?
B minus 5a.
Good, that leaves me with a b minus 5a. And then on the bottom, what am I left with? 6ab squared
Times b minus 5a.
times b minus 5a. Okay, so now I look for more onesies, right?
So it don't technically matter where you multiply it by -1?
No.
Put it on top or bottom?
Yep, top or bottom doesn't matter, right? 1 over minus 1's the same thing as minus 1, so pick one. All right, so we cancel those. What else can I cancel?
The 6 and the 12.
6 goes into 12
Two times.
twice. So all told here I get what?
Negative 2 over AB squared.
Negative 2 over 80 squared.
Yeah, isn't it
Are you gonna be
Yeah, but the
picky if
negative
you
1
leave the
times
negative,
the
like, on the negative 2, or does it have to be negative
just
the whole thing?
No, I don't care where you leave the negative. So this is the same thing as negative 2 over AB squared. It's also the same thing as 2 over negative AB squared. As long as what you have follows order of operations and is the same thing, I don't care where you put the
I
negative.
thought you already multiplied with the negative 1, so doesn't that negative 1
No, we
not
took
apply
it
to
out.
the 2?
You
Say
took
again?
the negative 1 out of
So I factored a negative 1 out of this stuff.
Yeah, so how is the 2 negative?
because he took it out of the.
It's 2 times negative 1.
Okay. I guess.
There were 2 of them, right? One to flip the signs.
Yeah.
And another one so I didn't do anything, so that it was still equal. That makes sense. I'm not dividing by negative 1 here because I don't have that option. I don't have a left-hand
Okay.
side of the equation.
5a
to
minus
deal with.
b is b minus 5a times negative
Yeah.
1.
I got that. Yeah.
Cool?
Yeah.
Okay. So whatever you end up with here at the end, one of these 3. Great. Awesome. Did that answer your question?